Everyone, please be seated. Michigan Athletics welcomes you to the 2025 Student Athlete Graduation Celebration. This evening is dedicated to our graduating student athletes who have enhanced the legacy and tradition of Michigan athletics and are about to embark on the next chapter of their journey. Please welcome to the podium our MC for the evening, Ed Kengerski.
Is everyone ready to have a good time tonight? All right. Good evening. My name is indeed Ed Kengerski from Michigan Sports Television. I'll be your MC/point guard this evening. That's the way I like to look at it. It's an honor to welcome all of the 2025 student-athlete graduates with us here inside Chrysler Center tonight. Tonight is about honoring the legacy they leave behind, but also so much more. It's also about the future and wherever your dreams and ambitions lead you. I've done interviews with so many of you over the years. It's truly been an honor to get to know you, to help tell your stories, and to report on your teams and your accomplishments, always knowing it would lead to this special night of recognition. Now I'd like to welcome to the podium our Donald R. Shepard, Director of Athletics, Mr. Ward Manuel, to address our graduates.
Thank you, Ed. Good evening, everyone. This is one of my favorite nights, because to look at you all, to see what you've accomplished, you'll hear about it, to see the parents and the families and the friends, to celebrate you all tonight in your achievement as graduates of the University of Michigan. I would like to be the first among everyone to congratulate you on this milestone in your life. This is a time to celebrate what you've achieved at this great university. On behalf of the Board of Regents, President Ono, the faculty and staff, and our coaches and all of our support staff, I want to welcome everyone here to celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates. I'm so pleased for you, your family. As a father who's had 2 children graduate from college, I'm really pleased for the families. For what you all have achieved. Our coaches and your teammates. This is a culmination of your hard work, your perseverance, and the drive to be great in the classroom. Being a student while also being an athlete is not easy. I don't need to tell y'all that. It takes a great deal of organization and commitment to doing the things when others might be veering in another direction. Those attributes and skills are ones that were shaped and developed by your families before you arrived in Ann Arbor. You continue to grow and develop as students and as individuals during your time here, and that has helped shape you into the person you are today. In recognition of your family and those who helped you achieve this milestone, I would ask that all of you, all the graduates, stand up, take a moment, turn around, and thank your families with a round of applause. I would also ask that all you graduates please take a moment later tonight to thank your families in person for all they did to help you reach this goal. Tonight marks the culmination of what we as an athletic department promised you and your families during your recruitment years ago. You achieved a great deal of success in Ann Arbor, both in the competitive arena and the academic space. At this time, I thought it would be appropriate to note and celebrate some of the accomplishments of this year's graduating class. And there's still some opportunities ahead in the spring. 153 of the 219 graduates have earned academic All Big Ten honors in their career. Yeah, give them a round of applause. 43 All Big Ten selections amongst members of this group, 26 All-American, 40 conference championship teams over the past 4 years. Yeah, you. Clap for that. Two national championship winning teams, 3 individual national champions, and 1 academic All-American with some additional honors still forthcoming. Give them a round of applause. Earning a degree from the University of Michigan is commendable and worthy of recognition. As I mentioned earlier, it is not easy to accomplish that as an athlete competing at the highest level on the most intense and biggest stages is exemplary. During this next phase of your life, you already have a leg up against the competition you will face because of your time here at Michigan. Your level of organization, the effort and preparation that you learned as a student athlete and utilized in the classroom, as well as your positive, can-do attitude, separates you from so many others. You are well prepared to compete in this next phase of life. You are ready to face the challenges and opportunities that come your way. The lessons that you learned as a student and athlete at Michigan will allow you to do amazing things. Listen to this advice. Always strive for excellence in everything that you do. Michigan will always be your second home. Please know that you are welcome to come back here anytime. We hope you return often to cheer on your former teammates and all the future Wolverines that will wear the uniform that you represented so well. Give back as much as you can to this great institution and the teams you competed for. And that's not only financially, it's with your time and your talent and connecting back and giving back to the student athletes that are here to help shape the next generation and generations of student athletes who represent the maize and blue and the Block M. Thank you again for all that you have done in the competitive arena and in the classroom. You have made us all proud. Congratulations again on reaching this milestone as a graduate of the University of Michigan. And lastly, go Blue. At this time, I'm excited to introduce tonight's student athlete speaker, and sad that this is his last year. I have been fortunate to get to know this young man during his time as a men's gymnast, and I got to know him as a person. He is as passionate about his sport as he is for each of your sports in this great university. Passionate is an understatement. It really is. And he has taken full advantage of his experience, winning a team national title, an individual national title, multiple All-American honors, 5 straight Big Ten championships, academic All-American honors, and was our school's prestigious Big Ten Medal of Honor winner this year. Oh, and by the way, he was an Olympian who was part of the U.S. team's bronze medal performance at last summer's Olympic Games in Paris. And many in this room may not know this last tidbit of information. After winning the national championship right here in Chrysler Arena, he decided to get on the knee and get engaged to his longtime girlfriend and member of our women's gymnastics team, Raina. So he's run full circle, folks. He's done it all here. So now that this is a complete experience at the University of Michigan, that's what this is a culmination of. Please welcome to the stage, Paul Judah.
Thank you so much, Ward. Wow. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 2025 Michigan Student Athlete Graduation Ceremony. Whether this is your first, second, or third student athlete graduation like me, today marks a meaningful milestone in every one of our lives. Congratulations to us all for the dedication, resilience, and accomplishments that brought us here today. Whether you were a walk-on, a transfer student, or a full-ride scholarship athlete, we all bleed the same maize and blue, and we are and always will be Michigan Wolverines. My name is Paul Judah. I am a proud three-time team captain of the Michigan men's gymnastics team. I've had the honor of leading alongside some of my favorite people, my brothers, teammates who have shaped me and helped me grow into the Michigan man that stands here today. I wholeheartedly believe that leaders create more leaders, not just followers. And I'm incredibly proud of the team of leaders that I had the pleasure of representing. A piece of advice that I think is good to share today is that it's not just good to network vertically, meaning with the current CEOs and executives at these major companies. Instead, network horizontally, with all of us sitting to your left and right, because we are those next future CEOs and professionals leading the world. As we move forward into our professional lives, remember your fellow Michigan student athletes and the bond that we all share by wearing this Block M. Nobody loves seeing Michigan student athletes succeed more than Michigan student athletes. And tonight, I want to share a brief lesson that I've learned through experience. Success isn't just a byproduct of raw talent alone. More often than not, success is a combination of opportunity, timing, specific circumstances, and of course, a little bit of luck. My roots and background are both humble. Both of my parents who are sitting in the crowd, Eva and Joseph, are both Polish-American immigrants who made the courageous decision to come to the United States in search of a better life. They arrived with little money, no family here, and barely any knowledge of the English language. To say that it was a leap of faith would be an understatement. It was a gamble made out of love, passion, and a desire for more for their future family. When I reflect on my childhood, I can honestly say there were probably more reasons that I shouldn't have been here than why I should have. Growing up, we didn't have much, but we always had enough. We had a roof over our heads and food on the table, but visiting my teammates' house sometimes, I felt envy, but never enough envy to deter me from working hard in the gym. Sometimes, we didn't know whether gymnastics tuition was going to be paid that month, but what my parents did tell me is to make the most of the time that I had in the gym because I didn't know if there was going to be another one. It wasn't just growing up, though. Like I said, both of my parents weren't very familiar with U.S. culture, let alone the college process, and definitely didn't know the ins and outs of recruiting at a D1 athletic university like the University of Michigan. Still, they raised my siblings and I to the best of their ability. Today, my brother is a proud UCLA PhD graduate. My sister, a compassionate, loving, selfless nurse living both in the Los Angeles area. And I stand here as a 16-time All-American, a 4-time national individual champion, a member of all 5 historic Big Ten team championships, a member of the 2024 Olympic bronze medal winning team, and of course, my most prized possession, a team captain of this year's NCAA Men's Gymnastics Team Championship that took place right in this building 2 weeks ago. We brought that trophy home to Ann Arbor, and it's never leaving. But the takeaway isn't this. It's not just a story about a kid who had challenges when he was growing up, and he overcame them with hard work and talent. Instead, I want to reflect on the whole picture. I want to talk to you about how the circumstances that I had shaped me into who I am today, and why all of us have similar stories that produced where we are today. As a first-generation U.S.-born citizen, I had the privilege of watching my parents work relentlessly. I quickly learned that nothing is handed to you. Everything has to be earned through hard work. I was fortunate enough to attend a high school where college was a regular topic of discussion. I had access to counselors who could guide me through the process so I could just focus on my gymnastics training. And as the third-born child, my parents had gained enough financial stability to consider even starting me in recreational gymnastics classes. And as for the luck portion, well, the gym had world-renowned coaches, and it was a 5-minute drive away from home. Talk about lucky. My family was able to pick me up. Friends could pick me up when my family was working and drop me off and pick me back up to drop me back off at home. It wasn't just hard work. It was a little bit of combination of opportunity, timing, support, and a little bit of people that made my path and my success happen. The reason I emphasize seeing the whole picture is this, because we all have these kinds of stories. It wasn't just work ethic that brought us here today. Every setback, every obstacle we've faced has shaped us into who we are today. Whether it was breaking into the starting lineup, whether it was scoring your first point, or whether it was coming back from a potentially career-ending injury, we have all been tested, and we have all risen. That's why I believe the next generation of leaders is sitting right here in Chrysler. Because when the next challenge comes, we'll be able to look back on our time at Michigan, on everything that we've overcome, and find the strength and determination to keep pressing forward. What I've learned is this: what we choose to look for in the world is what we'll find. If we search for reasons to quit, we'll find plenty. But if we search for the reasons to keep pushing forward, we'll find the strength to carry on. So I leave us all with 2 key things. First, never assume that success is as simple as hard work and talent. Remember that there are a plethora of things that make success possible. Second, don't forget what we are all capable of. We have all gone through extreme challenges here at Michigan. It's that fact alone that we are all primed for success in all of our future endeavors. Congratulations to us all again, to all graduates. May we all continue to excel professionally as we leave the greatest university in the world. Forever and always, go Blue!
Thank you, Paul. It's been great having you on campus, and I can speak for everybody in this room, I think, when I say you will be missed. To introduce our next graduation speaker, it's my pleasure to introduce our new women's field hockey coach and a Michigan field hockey legend in her own right, Christy Fisher.
Tonight, I am honored to introduce your final student-athlete speaker, Kaylee McMahon. First time I met Kaylee in person, it was about 3 months before she was due for preseason her freshman year. And when I saw her, she was walking with a cane very slowly up a sidewalk, and I thought to myself, there's no way she's playing this fall and probably not the next. This was before I knew Kaylee McMahon. Hailing from Stowe, Massachusetts, Kaylee has been an integral performer and leader for our field hockey program. She is the epitome of what a Michigan woman should be, on and off the field. Majoring in statistics, she has earned numerous academic accolades from Michigan and the Big Ten Conference. She's interned with the NBA, the Red Sox, traveled the world through leadership opportunities, and won some impressive championships on the field, all while facing tremendous physical adversity. While doctors doubted her ability to walk again, Kaylee opted to prove them and me very wrong. Her journey has never been easy, but Kaylee's resilience and adaptability are what make her such a profound leader in Michigan athletics. We're incredibly proud of Kaylee and feel honored to be a part of her journey. We look forward to continuing to watch her grow as she earns her degree in the Masters of Business Analytics program and battles for one more championship on the field this fall. Please join me in welcoming Kaylee McMahon to the stage.
Hi, everyone. Wow, I didn't think I would cry before I started my speech, but Christy's a legend. She just got named our new head coach next year, and I'm honored to be able to be a part of her first season next year. So thank you, Christy. I just want to start by saying congrats to the grads of 2025 and welcome to our family and our friends. I'm truly honored to be able to speak and celebrate our incredible accomplishments together. 4 years ago, if you had asked me where I'd be today, it wouldn't be standing in Chrysler Center. I was committed to Stanford, chasing a dream I'd worked toward my entire life. But when COVID hit, Stanford canceled their field hockey program, and just like that, the future I thought was waiting for me disappeared. So I made a decision, one that would change everything. I took a gap year, I traveled to England to keep playing the game I loved, and it was there, across the pond, standing in a country I barely knew, that I had committed to a place I had never visited in person, the University of Michigan. I trusted something inside of me that said this could be home. After returning home from England for the holidays, life threw me another curveball. In March 2021, I was diagnosed with a tumor on my spine. At 18 years old, I woke up from surgery, paralyzed from the waist down. As a competitive athlete, I never imagined I would be told I would never walk again. For the first time in my life, my biggest opponent wasn't another team. It was my own body. At Michigan, we say those who stay will be champions. And I knew I wanted to be a champion, even if my journey didn't look like anyone else's. It would have been easy to give up, but Michigan had already given me something to hold on to: hope. Childhood friends Alana Richardson and Lindsay Stagg and all of my future teammates at Michigan sent flowers, video messages, and reminders that I had already belonged. Even then, before I ever wore maize and blue, I understood what Michigan is really built on: the team, the team, the team. Not just the team you play for, but the teammates, coaches, families, and friends who show up before you ask and stay when it's hardest. I hadn't walked on campus yet, but I already knew Michigan is a place where we lift each other up. Coming from a small town in Massachusetts, I grew up knowing that my community was my team. My family was my team. There's Mima, my grandmother, who if you're on Instagram, you probably already know. She's Michigan field hockey's top contributor on social media and everyone's unconditional biggest fan. I mean, she met Greta and Will once at Washtenaw Dairy and hasn't missed a basketball game since. And Beepa, my grandfather, a former rocket scientist who bought my statistics textbooks so he could work through problems with me on the phone every week. He reminds me that success is never just about what you know. It's about who you invite into your journey. My dad, who supports all my wild endeavors. My mom, whose honesty is her superpower. My sister, Larissa, who reminds me every day to stay rooted in the moment. When I got to Ann Arbor, I became a part of another community. When I first arrived freshman year, I knew so little about Michigan that when someone showed me on their hand where they're from, I thought they were asking for a high five. That person turned out to be Jill Smith, now the all-time points leader in Michigan women's lacrosse history. So maybe that high five was good luck. I quickly learned the Block M is more than a logo and a brand. It's a living, breathing legacy of connection. It's hard to summarize my Michigan experience and everything this place has taught me. It was Sunday dinners at the basketball house where somehow there was always room for one more plate and one more person. It was piling into cars to cheer on any Michigan team that played within a 5-hour radius, not because we had to, but because showing up for each other was never a question. It was coffee at Argus before practice, not because we needed the caffeine, though we definitely did, but because those small routines made big days possible. It was late nights at the AC, where the career and academic resources are truly the Michigan difference. Wanda, Julie, Kim, Maurice, and Ashley didn't just help us with life at Michigan. They made us feel seen and supported while preparing for life after Michigan. It was living on Dewey Ave with probably half of Michigan athletics. Just walking down the street is a social hour. It was those moments at Mock Rock, spicy Uno games, Mott hospital visits, movie nights at the Big House, team impact events, and celebrating Big Ten championships the only way we know how, with jug karaoke, and everything else in between. At Michigan, you aren't just defined by your stats. You're defined by the people you lift up and the ones who lift you right back. Just a few weeks ago, life threw another unexpected challenge at me. One minute I was wrapping up my undergrad, and the next I was lying in a hospital bed, unable to move my hands and feel my feet. I was unable to walk again. This wasn't the ending of my college story that I had imagined. After days of tests and uncertainty, I received a diagnosis, one that I'll carry with me and manage for the rest of my life. But this experience also reminded me who I am, someone who doesn't quit even when the path changes. And once again, Michigan showed up. Even when the nurses insisted on a one-visitor policy, somehow 8 of my friends managed to cram into the hospital room at once. Because that's what you do for family, and because that's Michigan. That's what it means to belong to something bigger than yourself. Those moments reminded me, champions aren't just made in stadiums or on podiums. They're made in small moments of loyalty, laughter, love, and unrelenting support. Those who stay will be champions. And now I understand that phrase is not just about winning. It's about enduring. It's about choosing to show up again and again. When I came to Michigan, I thought success meant being an All-American, 4-year starter, maybe even an Olympian. Spoiler alert, I'm none of those things. But I'm a champion anyway. A champion of resilience, a champion of connection, a champion of never giving up on myself or on the people who never gave up on me. And I'm not saying the rings don't matter, because they definitely do. But real-life victories are never measured in points or wins. They're measured in every block M lined up perfectly at the SPC, every packed Saturday at the Big House, nights on Dewey where we host our famous die tournaments, and every single person who stayed when it would have been easier to walk away. Michigan gave me teammates who will stand with me long after the final whistle. Michigan gave me friendships that will carry far beyond these 4 years and into every part of the life we're building next. Michigan gave me sisters in my roommate at 804, Alana, Claire, Abby, and Emmy. We joke that we want to live together forever, but have settled on being neighbors at the bare minimum, coordinating yearly reunions, and having kids all around the same time so they too can experience Michigan together. Today, Michigan didn't give me strength. It helped me discover just how much of it I already had. At Michigan, I didn't just find a team, I found a family. I didn't just find a university, I found a home. I leave Michigan with what BT calls a PH me, a deep understanding of who I am, a belief I can face whatever comes next, a gratitude so fierce it sometimes feels bigger than words. Today, we leave Michigan with more than a degree, more than a jersey, more than a title. We are leaders and best, so don't wait. Take advantage of every single opportunity that comes your way. We possess an enthusiasm unknown to mankind to do good in this world. We take pride in our accomplishments, and we are prepared for the challenges we'll face next, because we are now alumni of the best university in the world. Those who stay will be champions. The team, the team, the team. Forever, go blue.
Thank you, Kaylee. You've been an inspiration to everyone. I think I can confidently say, and I've certainly enjoyed the few interactions we had over the years during your time in Ann Arbor. And now to introduce our final speaker of the night, please welcome a 4-year member of the women's soccer team, a 3-time academic All-Big Ten honoree, a former All-League performer, and a 2005 graduate getting ready to walk across this stage, Avery Kalita.
Good evening, graduates, faculty, family, and friends. It is my honor to introduce today's commencement speaker, a trailblazer in the world of professional sports and a leader who has reshaped the landscape of women's athletics. Jessica Berman was named Commissioner of the National Women's Soccer League in 2022. And under her visionary leadership, the league has seen unprecedented growth. From record-breaking media rights deals and soaring attendance to historic labor reforms that give athletes like me in the NWSL true autonomy over their careers, Commissioner Berman has ushered in a new era of innovation and equity in sports. In the 2024 season alone, the NWSL surpassed 2 million fans, reached over 17 million viewers, and dominated international competition, with its athletes representing 11 national teams at the Olympic Games. Her work has earned widespread recognition, including being named Sports Illustrated Innovator of the Year and Sports Business Journal's Executive of the Year, the first woman ever to receive that honor. Prior to her current role, she made history as the first female deputy commissioner of the National Lacrosse League and contributed to major collective bargaining efforts at the NHL. A University of Michigan alum and Fordham Law graduate, she continues to serve the sports community through leadership and mentorship. Please join me in welcoming a groundbreaking leader and an inspiring example of what's possible when vision meets purpose. Commissioner Jessica Berman.
Wow. Thank you all. And I have to share a quick story before I get started, which is that I learned when I arrived here at Chrysler tonight that Avery is actually going to be playing in the National Women's Soccer League beginning this Tuesday. So I can't wait to see you on the pitch, and you're the reason we work so hard. We tirelessly pour our hearts and soul into making this league a place where players can be proud to play. So thank you for joining our league, and we're so excited to have you. I can tell you that I never imagined I would get a cold call from the athletic director of the University of Michigan, certainly not any of my years here and in the 25 years since. So thank you, Ward, for that day where I asked if it was a prank call and learned it wasn't. Good evening, Wolverines, graduates, family, friends, faculty, coaches, and administrators. I want to start by saying, go blue. I did not play varsity sports, but I know what it's like to wake up at 5 a.m. with a goal to push past all forms of exhaustion, to hustle in service of achieving your dream, and to believe that how you show up on your worst day matters more than how you show up on your best. In that way, I can relate to all of your lived experiences. The first time I walked into Yost Arena as the manager of the Michigan ice hockey team, or when I walked into Michigan Stadium as the manager of the football team, I felt it, that flutter in my stomach. I'm sure you all feel it here today. I'm sure you felt it every day you walked on the field, court, or ice to compete for a Michigan team. My name is Jessica Berman, and it is with profound pride and a full heart that I stand before you today, returning to a place that shaped my life, my career, and my deepest values. I consider this my happy place, the place where I come to feel my greatest joy, to relive my greatest memories, and to remember what it was like to be a student. I get to relive that not only when I revisit Michigan, but every time I walk in an airport or on the street and I'm wearing a Michigan hat or t-shirt and someone says, "Go Blue," and I feel an immense pride that you all will feel every single day for the rest of your life. Today, you step into a world that is both exhilarating and uncertain. Some say we're living through a historic inflection point, a time that will define the future of eternity. I don't have to tell you that that feels like a lot. It's a heavy burden. I feel overwhelmed just saying it out loud. The world feels fast, fragmented, and noisy. It's hard to know what opinions to form, what sources to trust, and harder yet to know what role you should play. I say this all not to scare you, but to prepare you and help you to appreciate your responsibility to lead. You might be wondering, as I would if I were in your shoes, and sometimes Still ask myself, even as a commissioner of a professional sports league, where do I begin? How do I take action when every day feels unclear? I have two pieces of advice for you that I tell myself each and every day. They're simple to say and hard to live. The first is feel everything, and the second, ask more questions. Let me explain. You may be feeling a wild combination of emotions right now. You might feel confident and confused, isolated and inspired, lonely and loved, nervous and nostalgic. These are what I call the both ands, seemingly opposite emotions that you feel at the same time. Raise your hand if that resonates with you. The truth is, most of your adulthood is going to feel this way. These emotional mashups are not a bug in the system, they're a feature of being human. And here's where I like to reference the movie Inside Out. But I've been told I've hit my limit of Pixar references in public speaking. So instead, I'm going to go with a different reference tonight. Your emotional paint palette. Picture an artist's paint palette. Some days your emotions are bold, primary colors like red, maize, and blue. Other days, they're complicated blends of gray-green, burnt orange. They clash, they harmonize, but together they make you, you. The contrast is actually what makes the picture worth seeing. Every emotion helps paint the picture of who you are in that moment and who you might become. What makes you strong is not filtering for just the bright, happy colors as some might think you should manifest, but actually the contrast is what gives life meaning and purpose. Leaders lead the best when they know how to hold on to emotional complexity. I am constantly asked, what is the secret to my success? And I think people actually believe I'm going to list all of the accolades and experiences on my resume. It's not that. It's my ability to process emotional complexity and exhibit self-awareness. Thankfully, my mother's a psychologist, and she normalized these things for me before mental health was a trend. I know as student athletes, you've trained your body to compete. And I imagine as student athletes, you've also trained your minds to compete. So hopefully these concepts are not unfamiliar to you. And I imagine that these are the things that are going to actually differentiate you in your life. The second piece of advice is to ask more questions. It's been 25 years since I sat where you are today. And I can honestly say for the first time in my life, I think I relate more to the parents in the stands than I do to all of you. I know now that great leadership starts by asking questions and inspiring intellectual curiosity. When I was 16 years old, I knew I wanted to be a commissioner of a professional sports league, which either sounds super ambitious or concerning. Both are probably true. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, believing in my heart of hearts, as Nelson Mandela said, sport has the power to change the world. Growing up in a melting pot of a neighborhood of people from different backgrounds, I learned firsthand that sport was the only thing that could unite my community. I decided on that day that it would be my life's pursuit to lead a professional sports league. At Michigan, I hustled for internships in the athletic department. I worked at the NFL. I showed up early. I stayed late. I said yes to everything. No job too small or big. I spent 14 years at the NHL, and then I worked at the National Lacrosse League. I had almost achieved my goal. Then came a phone call, another cold call. Always take those cold calls. In December of 2021, a recruiter asked me, do you have the courage to take what you've learned in men's sports and apply it on behalf of women? I paused. I had never played organized sports before. I had never worked in women's sports, but I knew I believed in the power of women. I knew I believed in the power of sport. And that question cracked open in me an intellectual curiosity of what could be possible. I said yes. I became the commissioner of the National Women's Soccer League almost exactly 3 years ago this week. And I quickly realized this wasn't just a job. This was the biggest challenge and opportunity of my life. The league was in crisis. Players, fans, employees, all were unified in rightfully demanding change. They needed to be heard. There was no manual, no script, no playbook. And remember that paint palette analogy or the reference to Inside Out? I felt it all. I knew I was ready for the opportunity, but it was scary. And I knew a lot of people were depending on me, people like Avery. I realized something really profound that has guided me each and every day I've been in this role. Leadership isn't about figuring it all out on the first day. It's about leaning in to understand the things you don't know, showing up with empathy and humility, to learn from those who have a lived experience that is different from yours, and to imagine a future where people could actually enjoy watching women play professional sports. Who could have imagined? Instead of worrying about whether the league was going to stay in business, you can now watch the NWSL on national TV every single week of our season. Our athletes play in front of tens of thousands of fans. Investors are coming, brands are coming, and media partners are coming, all because of the lessons that I've applied in the last 3 years that I've come here today to share with you. Whether you're headed into business, medicine, education, art, staying in school, or taking time out to figure out what you want to do next, you will be the ones to set the tone of how our world continues to live together. All of that probably makes you feel all of those confusing emotions that we talked about earlier. That's the paint palette inside of you. Sit with it, embrace it, harness it. Know that you are a Wolverine. You were built for this. Class of 2025, I can't wait to see what you all do in your future. I'm so excited and proud to be here. Wishing you the best of luck, and go Blue.
Thank you, Commissioner Berman, and thank you so much for being here tonight, making time for this event. What an inspiring message for everybody out there. How about another round of applause for the Commissioner? All right, ready to walk. It is now time to meet our graduates. Each student athlete will be introduced by team as they walk across the stage.
Women's soccer. Avery Kalita, Taubman School of Architecture. Avery Peters, Biology, Health, and Society. Katie Roditas, Graduate Certificate in Real Estate. Tamia Tolbert, Business Administration. Saya Mangat, Psychology. Men's Gymnastics. Rithik Puri, Biomedical Engineering. Paul Judah, Master of Accounting. David Wolma, Communication and Media. Lace Najjar, Computer Science. Javier Alfonso, Master of Management. Sam Buradagunta, Master of Management. Evgeny Semniuk, Computer Science. Logan McEwen, Computer Science. Christopher Reed, Applied Exercise Science. Women's Tennis. Julia Fliegner, Business Administration. Field Hockey. Lindsay Stagg, Master of Management. Emmy Tran, Information. Alana Richardson, Communication and Media. Claire Taylor, Civil Engineering. Abigail Tamer, Applied Exercise Science. Kaylee McMahon, Statistics. Aaron Riley, Master of Management. Laura Clarl, Master of Management. Kate McLaughlin, Master of Management. Water polo. Riley Chappell, Communication and Media. Ashley O'Neill, Neuroscience. Casey Umlauf, Master of Human Genetics. Men's Soccer. Charles Lawrence, Communication and Media. Michael Leon, International Studies. Men's Swimming and Diving. Gal Cohen Groomy, Statistics. Cameron Grammage, Economics. Connor Hunt, Business Administration. Cameron Luard, Biology. Brendan Fitzpatrick, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Cameron Liberman, neuroscience. Women's swimming and diving. Abby Ketzlack, movement science. Evelina Johnson, international studies. Chrisman Clark, political science. Catherine Shanley, biology, health and society, and Spanish. Lindsay Flynn, applied exercise science. Casey Chung, master of management. Natalie Can, sport management. Women's rowing. Gabrielle Graves, economics. Grace C. Landefeld, industrial and operations engineering. Carla Russell, applied exercise science. Abigail Dent, economics. Olivia Hemker, mathematics. Margaret Vanderwood, biomedical engineering, master's. Leah Till, master of movement science. Logan Rader, psychology. Abby Hathaway, computer science engineering. Katie Easton, public health sciences. Volleyball. Jackie Boney, business administration. Kendall Ray, master of sport management. Maddie Cochran, applied exercise science. Mira Chopra, biology, health, and society. Allison Jacobs, master of management. Women's gymnastics. Ashley Lane, business administration. Carly Bowman, master of molecular, cellular, and development biology. J.C. Vore, communication and media. Jenna Mulligan, master of management. Asta Solilia Farrell, master of management. Abigail Vides, gender and health and philosophy. Women's lacrosse. Jillian Smith, sport management. Julia Schwabe, movement science. Kaylee Dyer, sport management. Haley Polk, communication and media. Aaron O'Grady, sport management. Catherine Merrifield, business administration. Maya Rutherford, computer science. Jane Federoff, Sport Management. Football. Roderick Moore, Communication and Media. Giovanni El Hadi, General Studies. Ikichuku Iwuna, Communication and Media. Peter Simmons, Sport Management. Henry Donahue, Economics. Joel Metzger, Computer Science. Christian Boivin, Sport Management. Joseph Taylor, Communication and Media. Peyton O'Leary, Communication and Media. Kayshawn Bennett, Economics. Tyler McLaurin, History. Alexander Lidback, Mechanical Engineering. Dance. Sarah Taub, Communication and Media. Kerrigan Price, Sport Management. Lauren Heimke, Nursing. Hayden Quinn, Nursing. Anjali Petrucci, Industrial and Operations Engineering. Charlotte Hawley, Molecular, Cellular, and Development Biology. Men's Golf. Ben Hoagland, Political Science. Hunter Thompson, Sport Management. Yuki Liu, Economics. Wrestling. Jacob Cardenas, Master of Management. Keegan Nugent, Mechanical Engineering. Austin Jordan, Computer Science Engineering. Jaden Bullock, Applied Exercise Science. Jabrail Kershadov, Applied Exercise Science. Joseph Walker, Biomolecular Science. Zach Mattin, Biology, Health, and Society. Nolan Wertanen, Industrial and Operations Engineering. Joshua Newton, Microbiology. Joaquin Consuelos, Theater Performance. Dylan Ragusin, Communication and Media. Women's Basketball. Greta Kampschrader, Sport Management. Men's Basketball. Ian Burns, Business Administration. Jace Howard, Graduate Certificate in Real Estate Development. Ice Hockey. Ethan Edwards, Sport Management. Thomas Daskus, Graduate Certificate in Real Estate. Andrew Albano, Robotics Masters. Cheer. Adam Clayus, Molecular, Cellular, and Development Biology. Michaela Adams, Master of Science in Information. David Diokno, Information. Sufian Salome, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Jack Mahalik, Biomedical Engineering. Kevin Briggs, Nursing. Aubrey McKinley, Business Administration. Eleanor Irwin, Computer Science. Carly Sahelski, Communication and Media. Riley O'Connor, Communication and Media. Men's Track and Field. Jack Judds, Business Administration. Jacob Kerner, Applied Exercise Science. Jacob Kunzer, Accounting. Lawrence Gilliam, Business Administration. Barakaya Ajala, Computer Science. Miles Brown, Movement Science. Xander Black, Business Administration. Henry Johnson, Applied Exercise Science. Eli Winter, Economics. Aiden Felty, Sport Management. Women's Track and Field. Asia Lorenzen, Master of Social Work. Kennedy Johnson, Sport Management. Riley Ammenhauser, Sport Management. Brianna Bates, Sport Management. Gabby Michael, Molecular, Cellular, and Development Biology. Yasmin Mansi, Business Administration. Nolani Phillips, Master of Movement Science. Savannah Sutherland, Biology, Health, and Society. Leah Dozema, Biology, Health, and Society. Lucy Petty, Cognitive Science and Communications and Media. Samantha Hasty, Data Science. Mary Carolyn Heinen, Master of Management. Lainey Bloom, Economics. Natalie DeSarbo, Environment. Katrin Koselka, History and Political Science. Men's Lacrosse. Emmett Houlihan, Business Administration. Jackson Clay, Graduate Certificate in Real Estate. Brandon Plemons, Communication and Media. Justin Ennis, Communication and Media. Lucas Delgado, Communication and Media. Thomas Lohman, Business Administration. Nick Lauterbach, Sport Management. DJ Dixon, Master of Management. Lucas Stannett, Graduate Certificate in Real Estate. Ryan Cohen, Sport Management. Jack Welch, Sport Management. Michael Ferchette, Sport Management. Aiden Mulholland, Sport Management. Cornelius Van Wees, Economics.
Thank you very much.
Dylan Bruno, Master of Electrical and Computer Engineering. Will Byrne, Graduate Certificate in Real Estate. Cameron Goodlow, Business Administration. John Morgan, Sport Management.
Just want to say a few words to friends and family in case you don't get a chance to see it. We talk about this being their second home. So what they received tonight in this beautiful box is a compass with the latitude and longitude for Ann Arbor. So they will always know where we are and how to get back home. So please give them a round of applause again.
Class of 2025, we congratulate you on your many accomplishments while representing the Block M. We know you'll continue your journey of excellence with whatever you choose to do next. On behalf of the University of Michigan and the athletic department, we are proud of you today and always. Before we conclude our event tonight, please turn your attention to the screens as we highlight the class of 2025. All right, so I promised I would give editing credit to Ricky Logan, who works in our office here in Chrysler. So good job, Ricky. Certainly brings back memories, some terrific moments that will never be forgotten. We hope you've enjoyed tonight's commencement event as we've recognized this outstanding class. Before you leave, we invite you to join us in the Hall of Honor up on the concourse for a small reception, food from one of your favorites, Frida Petitos. All student athletes, coaches, families, and guests are welcome. And finally, I'm going to invite Paul and Kaylee to come up and lead us in a rendition of the victors.
You ready?
1, 2, you know what to do.
Hail to the victor,